Good morning, folks. Let's take a look today at how we could use a SPARKLINE to create a little bar chart next to a percentage. And we'll use a data validation as well for our dropdown. So let's start by typing in some percentages. Let's set this whole column here to percent. And then let's type a 10. And that's going to be 10%, and then a 20%. And then let's go ahead and highlight these two and drag down to row 10. So now I have 10% through 100%. I think I'd like to get rid of those decimal places, so I'll move the decimal place back to places and just have my 10% through 100%. Now in column 2, I want to select the whole column. And I want to do a data validation. I want to add a rule here, and I want it to be a drop down from a range. And the range I want to use is this range I just set up with my list of percentages. So I'll say OK to that. So now I can choose 10%. I mean, you can see in any one of these chips, I can choose the percentage I want. Now what I want to do in the next cell is create the SPARKLINE. So this is going to be equal to the SPARKLINE. SPARKLINE is function, and we're going to have it be B1. And then the next step is the options. Well, let's see if it explains much about the options. Okay, well it does. I see a few things here. Let's just do this way. Let's do a chart type, and it looks like this needs to be in curly quotes. So we'll do chart type, and that needed to be in quotes. That's right. Chart type, and then it looks like it's a comma, quotes, bar, comma, and then the max that we're going to want here, because we're dealing with percentages, let's see, we have to put that in quotes, max, comma 1, and let's just see what this creates for us. So we have to close out our curly bracket, close out our parentheses, and let's see what we have. We have some kind of an error. Let's see if we can't figure that out. Oh, I see. So you have your chart type, comma, bar. Oh, I see. We needed a semicolon. That was hard to see. It's a semicolon. Okay, I think that's going to give us something. Okay, so it's used a default orange color. If I wanted to change the color, I can put in another parameter here. So again, I'm going to have to use my semicolon, quote. I think we'll call it color 1, quote, comma. And let's see if we can't just use a color. Let's see what happens if we do that. Oh yeah, we get a green. Now notice that just is applied to this one cell. I could copy this down either by doing this or let's see, we got an error here. B2, this one worked. Let's see what's wrong. I think it's because we don't have any data. Let's put some data in. Oh, there we go. And here's our data 3. I don't like those NAs, so we're gonna get rid of those in a moment, but watch what happens if we do this double click on this. We should be able to drag that formula down. I guess we can't double click that one, but we can drag it down. We're going to get all these NAs. So let's go ahead and undo that. Let's get rid of those NAs. So we're going to do a function in front of this if NA. So if the outcome is NA, then comma, don't do anything. And let's see what that does. Now we're not going to see a difference in this cell, but now when we drag this down, yes, we can see that we have got what we want here. and we can change and get that SPARKLINE to work. Now, I often like to write this all in one complete formula instead of having to copy it down. And we can do that, in this case, with the BYROW function. Let's go ahead and let's insert a row above here. Let's call this is our percent list. This is, we'll actually get rid of the data validation here. Let's take a look at this data validation and change this data validation to B2 so we can get rid of that drop down there. That should have worked. Let's just delete the data that's in there. Okay, we got rid of that. Let's call this our percent complete maybe, and fix up my error there. And then let's do my SPARKLINE copy down formula. And then we want to go ahead and on the next column have be my SPARKLINE single formula. Okay, and then we might, fix this up a little bit. Oops, what happened there? This got dragged up, so let's drag that back where it belongs. Okay, I cleaned that up. So our next step then would be to write a formula here. It's going to be a BYROW lambda formula. So this is going to be equal BYROW, and you can see our BYROW comes in. And we are going to do everything in column C, well, starting with 2. Actually, it's going to be column B, excuse me. My mistake. It's going to be B2 colon B. So everything in B, that's our array. And then we're going to do our SPARKLINE. Well, we're going to do our lambda, and we'll put in our lambda. And our lambda is going to use a variable, we'll just call it R, and then we will go ahead and paste in, whoops, we don't want to do that, we want to undo that. We have to grab the formula. So let's come back over here. We want to grab this IFNA formula that we've got working. I'm going to copy that. And then come back here to my lambda. So B2 colon B lambda R, and we have our lambda closed and our BYROW closed, so I should be able to just paste in everything else that I've got here. Let's see what happens. Yep, we don't have something right there. Let's stop and see what we have wrong. I believe it's because we did not tell this, in this case, to be B2 colon B. And again, not looking the way I expected. What we needed to put in here, of course, is our variable R. Let's see what happens when we do that. And again, that happens frequently. If you type R and don't get your comma in there, it wants to jump in and put in the row function. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So now, with a single formula in column D, I can come through here and put in any percent I want and get my SPARKLINE to work. Now, I don't need this formula anymore. I think I'll just delete this column, and we'll just go with a single formula. Well, let's go ahead and undo that just so we can see. This formula needs to be copied down. This is a single formula to make a SPARKLINE based on a set of percentages.